What is going on, guys? It is your boy Vibrant, bringing us the best class setup in Advanced Warfare, and this is it right here. But we do have a gameplay for you guys as well. When this moves, I believe, to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, we're going to be, you guys are going to be watching a gameplay. It's a 50 bomb on Ascend hardpoint using the same class that I'm showing you guys right here, and I'm going to tell you guys why it's the best class in the game. Alright, really quickly, the Bal 27, I'll go through some really quick things with it. It's got 32 rounds in multiplayer, 48 with extended mags, and that's the fastest AR in its class. So you really burn through ammo, but you also reload very quickly, I find, with this weapon. It's very similar to the P90 of MW3 and MW2. You know, it's got very low recoil, almost unnoticeable if you have a good shot. You know, there are weapons with better recoil, like the AK-12G and the HB, I believe the HBR is the HB, yeah, the HBRA3. They're, you know, it's not as good as those two weapons, but it keeps up because of its high fire rate, and, you know, you don't lose that much accuracy when you shoot this gun, how fast it fires. It's almost as fast as a lot of the SMGs. So the attachments that I run are the quick draw grip and the foregrip, and I want to get into why I run those two attachments. So the quick draw grip, it's so I can end down sight quicker. You know, it's an AR, you should have that perk on. If you don't, I don't really know what you're doing, but that's a necessary perk. Now foregrip is something that you can interchange with. I like foregrip because I use the iron sight, because I think the iron sight is very good. I'll put an iron sight photo on screen right now. And, you know, it just looks very nice. It kind of feels like the FAMAS from Black Ops 1. You know, obviously there's no circle around it, but kind of like the actual, like the three trident point. You know, got the middle point, which is kind of smaller than the two left and right points. You guys know what I mean when I say that. And then foregrip, it just reduces recoil, vertical recoil, which is the one that I like a lot. You know, I don't like to have my gun going left and right, up and down. And with my up and down recoil being stabilized, I can also stabilize my left and right manually, so I really like to use the foregrip for that situation. Now, that's not saying that you guys can't use any other attachments. Some of the other attachments that I would run, I'm not going to put a photo on screen, but I'm going to list them off, so listen carefully. I would also run the red dot sight, the stock, the suppressor, and the extended mags. You can also run the laser if you're feeling funky, but you know, those five, well, the two that I listed, and I guess those six I listed are really good. Now make sure to run quick draw on every single class, no matter what you're doing, and then interchange up foregrip with suppressor, extended mag, stock, red dot, and laser, depending on how you feel with the game. You know, I personally like to run foregrip and quick draw because I don't have a third attachment, but if I were to have a third attachment, I'd probably run extended mags, or even suppressor. I don't really like the red dot because if I like the iron sight already, there's no need for a sight. And you know, I already have so much mobility in this game to the point where I don't really need stock or laser sight, because, you know, I don't hit fire. I don't hit fire, and I don't need to hit fire. I'm always a guy that aims on sight and, you know, waits for them to run to my bullets. Alright, here's the perks category. You're going to be running low profile, peripherals, toughness, and blast suppressor. So for the perk 1, which is low profile, I believe you're hidden to UAVs, tracking rounds, and exo pings. So the main reason why you're using this perk is because you're immune to UAVs. They can't see you. They call them UAV, which is the most common kill streak in this game. Believe me, it is. And because I feel like I always have a constant UAV up on my team. You know, if you're running low profile, people won't see you. They won't see you on the map. They'll feel like they're running, you know, they'll be looking off their mini-map because of a UAV, and you could just be sitting in a little corner and you shoot them because they didn't even know you were there because you're off the map. Very good perk. I recommend you use it, and, you know, anything else in that viable. You know, lightweight, it's okay. You move faster. Flak jacket, it's also okay. Overcharge if you use abilities and danger clothes, but it's just not as good as low profile. It keeps you off the map, and it's the one that gets you the most kills. So perk 2 is peripherals. You increase your mini-map coverage, and you take out enemies without displaying their death location. You know, that's good. It's not that good of a perk, but because nothing in perk 2 is that useful, you know, with the exception of fast hands, which you can switch equipment, you know, really quickly and use your exo abilities and use your exo launchers really quickly. It's not as good. You know, this game has a big map. You know, most maps are really big to the point where you want to know exactly where enemies are. You don't want to just see their, you know, their little red dot in the top left corner and have to move up to see exactly where they were. You want to actually know where they are at quite a bit of a distance, so you know exactly how to use your exo movements to get to them at the best situation possible. So that's why I run peripherals. Perk 3. So you want to run toughness 100%. You don't get flinch when you get shot. When you're in a gunfight, you're going to flinch, and your gun's going to go straight up really quickly before it comes back down and you focus your shot. And 100% skilled players, they run toughness. I don't know anyone who doesn't that is a decent player at the most. You don't flinch, and you keep your shot on target when you're shooting. Must run that perk. Now, we're running perk 3 greed, so make sure to put that on your class. Blast suppressor. Blast Suppressor, you're invisible on minimap and performing exo movements. Scavenger, you start with extra magazines and resupply bullet ammo from fallen enemies. And then Hardline, you earn, I believe, 100 points less for your score streak. Don't run Hardline. You know, Hardline is a very good perk, and if you don't have anything else, which, I mean, you shouldn't because Hardline's the last unlock, I wouldn't run Hardline. It's pretty much about Blast Suppressor and Scavenger. If you're a good player, you don't feel like you use Exo too much, I'd run Scavenger because you're replenishing bullets. But if you honestly aren't the best player and you feel like you die a lot to the point where you don't ever run out of bullets, run Blast Suppressor because you're invisible on the minimap when performing Exo moves. Now, if you pair that up with low profile and Suppressor on your bow, if that's, you know, the one that you change up for foregrip, you're not detectable on the minimap at all. Nothing, you will never be seen on the minimap. The only time you'll ever be seen is if you're right beside a teammate and heat shoots. That's the only way. Alright, so this is a tricky one. Exo abilities. Now, I'm not against it, and I think they're really good, but for my class, I run 2 Semtexes, and you can probably take one of those away and run an Exo ability, which is probably what I would do. I would take away 1 Semtex and put on an Exo ability, which is Stim or Cloak. Don't run Mute Device, don't run Clock, don't run Shield or Hover or Ping or Trophy System. You don't need any of those ones. Stim, you know, you get extra health. If you feel like you're going into a gunfight, just put on Stim and just run in there, and, you know, it's like a Ballistic Vest, pretty much. A Ballistic Vest that only lasts once per life. So use that, you can win your gunfight and move on. With Cloak, you're invisible, and it actually does help out because I'm looking for things and enemies on the minimap. I'm not looking for little plastic looking figurines running around the map. So run Cloak if you feel like that you're the type of guy that stands out a lot, the one that really shoots a lot of the time, run a Cloak. And again, for the Exo launchers, you can either run 1 Semtex or 2, depending on whether or not you feel like abilities are useful for you and you find yourself using them. I didn't, so that's why I put on 2 Semtexes. Alright, so the 3 score streaks, and this is the hardest part of this video. I've had to record this 7 times. Obviously, you guys really didn't notice it, but the UAV, the bombing run, and the XS1 Vulcan are the ones that I run. Now, you can mix and match that how you want. Use the UAV though, with no abilities, don't add anything onto it. Just run the UAV as it is. It helps you out with the people that didn't watch this video and are still not running low profile. It actually helps out so much, and you can, you know, it's a UAV. It's been here for a long time, and it will. Now for the other 2, do whatever you want with them. You know, if you feel like you're not skilled, don't put any abilities on your Vulcan. Don't add anything onto it, and it'll still be a really good class. It'll be like a 400, a 600, a 725. And that would pretty much be it, because those 2 score streaks, the Vulcan and the bombing run, are so good for objective play, and they just get you so many kills. So those are the ones that I would run. But other than that, you know, you can really run any score streaks you want. It doesn't really matter as long as you feel like you can get them and they get you kills. So you know, things like the system hack would be good as well. Things that I would not run ever under any circumstances ever would be the aerial recon drone, the aerial assault drone, and the remote turret. And even the care package I wouldn't run either. Those 4 I would never run, but anything else, mix and match how you will. If you feel like you're skilled and you can get those kill streaks, do it. If you don't, then you don't. But make sure to run 3 score streaks for this class setup to work. And I'll give you guys an overview of the class setup once again. This is our finished class setup. I hope you guys enjoyed the game plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this class setup. Please let me know how it worked out for you guys in the comment section below. Tell me your best score, tell me your worst score, tell me your KD, tell me whatever you want. And I really hope this class setup works for you guys, because I know it did for me. It's worked wonders for me, and I continue to use it to this day. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Vibrant, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.